But I want to leave you with three things. I don't want to keep you long. It's only three things I want to leave you with. And it's the DEA, not the drug enforcement agency. But I want to leave you with three things. I want to leave you with a definition. I want to leave you with an example. And I want to leave you with an acronym. A definition, an example, an acronym. I have to give you a definition because we have to begin to know what a man is. There's a lot of discussion and debate about what a man is and what qualifies and what quantifies a man to be a man. But I just want to take a little look at what the word says here. To give you something that at least be able to tell you what a man is. In 1 Corinthians, the 13th chapter, the 11th verse, the 13th chapter of Corinthians is often called the love chapter. And this is written in the particular context of love. But here's what Paul writes. Paul writes to the church of Corinth. He says, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I talked like a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. Let me pause right there. With those three things about what you say, what you understand, and what you think, that would lead and lend to think that if you thought that way, if you spoke that way, that you acted that way. But Paul then says, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. Let me change that word out. He says, when I was immature, I spoke immaturely, I understood immaturely, and I thought immaturely. Thereby, I acted immaturely. Oh, but when I became a man, let me give you this definition real quick. That a man is one, just like the children said, is one who is mature. That's right. What is that? What is that? He wrote this in the context of love. So what he's saying is that a man is one who is mature in the context of love. What that mean? Here it is, being mature in the context of love. When we look at what needs to be done, it cannot be done or accomplished apart, separate, or without love. Can't do it. So which means that if a man has not matured in love, you just grown up, dressed up, an old person clothes. What do you mean to be mature in love? What is that all about? In that 13th chapter, it tells you everything that love is not. That's your homework. Y'all read that when y'all get home. But it tells you things like love is not puffed up. Love ain't full of pride. Can't do it. Here's why. Because love is matched and built and bolted to humility. Humility, this is my definition, I don't know this in no way, but humility is the absence of pride. Where do I get my definition from? I get it from Jesus. Who is the walking, talking, living, moving, breathing example of what humility is. And he was an absence of pride. Here's what it says, that even though he was God in the human form, he didn't walk around and just I am Jesus Christ. No salvation to me. But what he did was he died on the cross for things that he didn't even do. my definition.
Come on. Read.
In Luke, in that 15th chapter, the scripture says, 15:17, and when he came to himself, he said, let me pause. He says, when he came to himself. I know y'all are good Bible reading people. Let me give y'all the narrative of what happened to this point.
Come on.
There was a young man who was living in his father's house, who essentially said, Daddy, look here. I've been waiting around this camp for quite some time for you to kick the bucket. I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and morning after morning I wake up and I see you. So here's what I want to do. I want whatever you were going to give me when you die. Can you cut me a check for that right now? Now watch the father. The father didn't go, boy, are you crazy? The father says, sorry, you want to check? No problem. There you go. And off he went to do whatever he wanted to do. Lived whatever way he wanted. Long as his money was good. But oh, when the money ran out, when he started getting a little hungry, when the grumbles in his belly got to be too much, he remembered what was at his father's house. And he came to himself and said, look, man, it's servants in my father's house who have more than enough to spare.
That's right.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to go back there and I'm going to apologize.
That's all right.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
And so, the strangest thing happens. That as the boy bends the corner, the father sees him. The father sees him. When you saw someone who disrespected you and mistreated you and have done you wrong, watch his father's response. Now, I'm not going to ask you about your response. I'm just simply saying, here's what his father did. It says, but when he was a yet a far way off, his father saw him and had compassion. Listen, this boy had essentially wanted